Greetings and salutations to all you people out there. I know that recent events have been a little chaotic for some of you, and a lot of you are pretty disturbed by the apparent shutdown of the Forged Alliance Forever client. I know we'd all poured hours of playtime into Forged Alliance. We were all involved with the community. Some of us even donated money, and then it was all just gone. Uh, I know Zep put in a ton of work over the last 3 years, getting all this put together and building up a player base. But I think he finally just got tired of handling the project and he canceled it. Thankfully, someone stepped up to the plate to make sure that Forged Alliance really does go on forever, and he's actually joining me right now. Here's someone I'm sure all of you wanted to hear from, Visionik, the new owner of the client.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I hope you are as well.
Yeah, it has been a very interesting 3 or 4 days to say the least.
Now, I'm sure that everyone is really curious about you and what you do. Real quick, can you just give us a 30-second overview of maybe what you do for a living and your area of expertise?
Yeah, I started off my career as a software engineer, but when I was very young, when I was 19, I started my first company, and that led to a career of entrepreneurism and being an entrepreneur. For a long time, that involved exclusively just companies that I started and my continuing to contribute software at the companies that I started. But over the last 15 years, it's really transitioned more to starting companies, buying companies, and selling companies. I've bought and sold about 17 companies over the last 10 years. So I basically do a lot of negotiating and a lot of deal making. And when I saw things kind of going sideways and everything getting shut down with FAF, I figured, what the heck? Let me just jump in, and I found Z-Pilot on LinkedIn and sent him an email and said, "Hey, I have a proposal for you." And he responded, and we worked out a deal.
That's fantastic. Well, since you went to all the trouble of obtaining the server and setting all this up, I'm assuming that RTS games and Subcom in particular is a passion of yours.
Oh yeah, I've it's definitely my favorite type of gaming. My first RTS was Herzog Zwei on the Genesis, and I got Total Annihilation the day it came out. I got Subcom the day it came out. I've been playing them for a long time. I've been playing on FAF for I think about 2 years now, but with a lot of breaks because sometimes I just don't have time with all the work I have to do to play. But yeah, absolutely, I love RTS games, and Subcom, Forge Alliance Forever, definitely my favorite.
I'm sure we can all feel you there. Supreme Commander has kind of a way of taking over your life if you're not careful about it.
Yeah, it does.
It's amazing to hear that somebody cares enough about such an old game to maintain it. Now that you've obtained ownership of the server and client, I know everybody's next question is, what are you going to do with it?
Well, my plan was really to just get the project through this kind of interim phase of transition. Recover from the shutdown and recover from some of the blow up that we had a couple days ago. Get everything back online. Get everything stable, and then focus on a mid to long term plan to really transition it from an individually driven project to a community driven project. And look, I just started all this, 4 days ago. I just said, well, I don't know, let me try contacting him and see what I can do. So it's not like I had a big grand plan worked out in my head. I have worked on open source projects before. I did consulting for some companies on how to transition, closed source products to open source projects in the past. So I had some general ideas of the direction that I thought we could head, but not a lot of specifics. And really, what I've been doing the last couple of days is just listening and learning and talking with as many people in the community as I can, starting to put together a kind of straw man proposal and concept of what we might do. What we know for sure, and what's in the contract between Z Pilot and I, is that all of the code is going to be released as GPL version 3. Um, he's also going to help over the next 3 months the transition to this new phase, to help comment code, document some of the server installation and procedures, really make it more successful in terms of an open source
That
project.
was actually kind of leading into my next question because I know a lot of people have been asking around the forums and everything whether or not we were going to be able to keep the current FAF balance patches, what was going to happen to Galactic War and the 2 versus 2 matchmaker, all this stuff. Is all of that work going to be transferred into our care? I know some of it is unfinished, but we are going to get the code from that, and that is going to be re-implemented as the community works on it.
Yeah, it's everything. It's all the source code, all the non-source code assets, the domain names, the forums, graphics, data, records, log files, everything
That
was in the
is
agreement. So
fantastic.
it's all it's all owned by me today. But like I said, my plan from the beginning was to turn it all over to the community, and that's what we're at the very beginnings of. It's going to take some time to get there. It could be weeks, it could be a couple months, but that's absolutely where we're going to go. I don't have the time to do this myself, so I have to turn it over to other people to really make this work.
Yes, of course. And you kind of partially answered it, but just so we're clear, because I know a couple of people have raised this question to me and then it's come up on the forums. You basically said that you're an entrepreneur and somewhat of an investor. So the question has been raised, is this going to turn into something for profit or is this going to remain free and open, ad free and pretty much donation and community maintained?
Yeah, no, the only profit I invested in this for is a profit of fun. I have no expectation of making money off of it. So, no, there's not going to be any fees and there's not going to be any ads. I mean, unless the community decides later, separate from me that there is, but I'm sure that they wouldn't. But no, I'm not going to implement any fees. I'm not looking to get the money back. I'm just looking to enjoy the game and, like I said, to help transition it to this next phase of life.
That is great. I know I had that understanding, but that has calmed a bunch of fears, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, we're not turning into Facebook for RTS or anything like that. It's not not going to turn into an ad-driven platform or start having a fee. I you know
That is good to
I
hear.
I wouldn't like that, so I wouldn't want to do it no matter what.
All right. Well, I will say below this video, there is going to be a group of links, and now this is going to be a community-based project. So there's going to be 3 links down there. It's going to be the website, the link to the forums for the community, and then also there's a link to a volunteer sign-up sheet. It's just a quick note. You drop in your email, your username, and then check the boxes for what you may or may not be good at. And that is just a reference point for the administrative team and the developers that are working on this. When they need things from the community, they'll know exactly where to go. So if you want a place to help, just head down there to those links. All right, well, that is all of the tough questions that I had. And now we move on to what everyone really wants to know. These are 3 quick questions. Just name off the first thing that pops into your head. Well, the first one is people are going to want to know if it's safe to 1 versus 1 the admin. So, what is your approximate rank or skill level in the game?
I am not very good at the game. I kind of float between like 800 and 1,000. Um, I
Well, that's
have
right at the average, so that's fine.
I have been bribing people in the game with avatars and other perks if they'll train me up to a 1,500 or a 2,000 player. I don't do a lot of 1v1, honestly. I pretty much always do you know larger team games, 4v4, a lot of sentence clutch. That's really what I've always enjoyed the most about
I'm right there with you on
FA
that
and
one.
Supreme Commander. I enjoy the 1v1 games too, but just not nearly as much as putting a team together and coming up with sneaky strategies where one player is distracting folks while another player is going to snipe, and
It's
all the
just so
fun that
much more
comes with that.
fun playing with other people.
Yeah, absolutely,
Well, the second
absolutely.
question would be what is your favorite faction and just a real quick reason why?
I really two answers to that question. In the air, Aeon. I've been playing Setton's Air more and more, trying to get better at it, and the advantages of Aeon with the T3 gunships and everything else. It really gives it the strength there. But on the ground lately, honestly, I've really been liking Seraphim. I enjoy the capabilities. I like my ARAS. I like having that. And so when I'm on the ground, I'm normally playing Seraphim, and if I'm in the air, I'm normally playing Aeon.
And that was actually my third question was going to be what's your favorite map, but I think you pretty clearly answered that since you're talking about the air slot. You're a Settings player.
Absolutely, I'm a sentence man. I've been joking that I'm going to call the leadership organization the Council of Settons. And that everyone will have positions on it. Maybe we'll have like the air position and the rock position and the beach position on the council.
I'm
And
sure Galactic Fear will be all over that.
yeah, he absolutely already is. Yeah. And I've jokingly also said that all conflict and disputes will be resolved when in Setton's team matches, and then the winner gets the decision. So I'm of course kidding, but yeah, I'm definitely a Setton's guy. I love Setton's clutch. It's been a
All right.
blast since the day the game came out.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that was all of my questions, and thanks a ton for coming on and answering all of these. That's going to be a huge help to everyone as they're getting used to having a new administrator, wanting to know about you. That's all I had. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, just if anyone in the community ever wants to reach out to talk with me, please feel free. I actually prefer chat over the forums. So whenever I'm online, you see me, hit me up with a private message on chat, or hit me up in Aeolus, and let's talk. And whenever I have time, I love talking to the community. That's one of the things that I enjoy the most is all the people that I've met over the years. Playing this game, and I'd like to talk to as many people as I can. But definitely, if there's anything I can ever do for anybody, just hit me up, and I'll be glad to help.
All right. Well, that is fantastic to hear. That is going to wrap it up for this little session. And thanks, guys, for tuning in. And thanks again to Visionik for coming on with us and answering all these questions.
You're quite welcome. I'll see you guys.
All right. Bye.